This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 6th day of August in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here is what we're tracking tonight. Former President David Granger has not ruled out a return to the National Assembly to serve as leader of the opposition. In an interview with News Source this morning, the PNC Reform and APNU leaders said discussions are still ongoing on the persons who will be heading to the National Assembly to take up the coalition's 31 seats. He said supporters can expect more women and more youths among the APNU AFC members of parliament. Questioned directly about his own return, the 75-year-old Granger said options have to be discussed.
We have to discuss all options to ensure that the APNU AFC is well led and is committed to achieving the objectives that we've set. My role as representative of the list is to ensure the selection of persons who can fulfill that program, the objectives of our manifesto.
The former president has come under criticism from some members and supporters of the coalition who believe he should retire from active politics following the coalition's loss at the disputed elections, which it has described as fraudulent-filled. Mr. Granger said he remains a servant of the people when questioned about whether he would be open to serving as the leader of the opposition again.
I am a servant of my party and of the APNU and of the coalition.
So what does that mean? Will you be heading to Parliament?
It means that I will occupy the best position to ensure that the objectives of the APNU AFC are fulfilled through the National Assembly and through the RDC.
Granger also said the criticism being leveled against him for his leadership into the elections and after is not well-founded.
I do not believe that such criticism is well-founded. From the start of this process, after the no confidence motion, I insisted on a certain set of principles. One is the respect for the Constitution. Second was the court. And at all material times I said I respect the decision, the declaration of the Election Commission. And when that declaration came, I did so. I was criticized, I was called upon to swear in. I can't swear myself in. I'm not the Chancellor. I'm not the chairman of the commission.
The former president told News Source that, like many of his supporters, he too is disappointed at the results of the elections, which the coalition maintains contained fraudulent votes. He said the APNU AFC will be going ahead with the filing of its election petition, and that will be done before the deadline.
At all material times, I behaved, and my party and the coalition behaved in a legal manner. We followed a lawful course, and the lawful course came to its climax on Sunday afternoon.
Stay with us. More news coming up in just a moment.
Hi Guyana, it's your boy Kimo Paul here. Reminding you to stay at least 1 meter away from persons or 3 feet to avoid contracting the flu or the COVID-19. It is also important that we stay at home and to avoid gatherings of more than 5 persons. We must all play our part, so let's protect ourselves and our families from COVID-19. We must all play our part. The Ministry of Public Health cannot do this alone, so let's all come together and fight this virus.
For further information, check our website www.health.gov.gy or visit the ministry's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter page.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, We are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Welcome back. A number of senior officials of the Office of the President who served under the last government have been blocked from returning to their jobs. News source was told that some of the senior officials were prevented from entering the compound of the President's office this afternoon when they returned from their lunch break. While they were allowed into their offices this morning as per usual, when they returned from lunch, the security told them that instructions have been left for them not to be allowed past security. The instructions reportedly came from the Presidential Secretariat. Additionally, a number of other Office of the President staffers who worked under the last government were told that while they were not being fired, they should no longer return to their jobs and should stay at home until further instructions. Some of the staffers worked in the Political Affairs Division as well as the Administrative Department of the Ministry of the Presidency. The Permanent Secretary was earlier this week asked to compile a list of all the staffers at the Presidential Secretariat. Many of them were told they needed to resign. However, because many of them are on the establishment as public servants, they could possibly lose their benefits if they were to resign instead of being terminated. The APNU-AFC has described the situation as nothing more than witch hunting by the Pacific government. In a meeting with managers on Monday, President Irfan Ali had asked the staff at his new office to remain professional, promising them that they should not fear losing their jobs. But since the meeting, several of them have complained that their jobs are no longer secured, even those who were not political appointees. The Guyana Trades Union Congress, which is the umbrella trade union body in the country, has welcomed the new government's decision to have a full Ministry of Labor again. Under the last APNU-AFC government, the labor portfolio was shifted under the Ministry of Social Protection, much to the disagreement of many of the trade unions, including the GTUC. On Wednesday, longtime Member of Parliament Joe Hamilton took the oath of office as the Minister of Labor. In an interview with News Source, Minister Hamilton said the Labor Department under his watch will do more than just mediate between workers and their employers. He said there will be a more proactive approach to the way labor issues are addressed.
I can assure the Guyanese people that the Ministry of Labor under this new government would be more than just mediating between employers and employees. One of the focus will be human development, the whole issue about training people properly for the new workforce.
Hamilton also said there will be greater focus on the representation of employees across the country, but he believes there is the need for a stronger and more dedicated workforce to execute the government's work.
Whatever programs we have presently, as regards training, we will expand them, upgrade them, ensure that it touches every region in this country so that we will not have uneven development. And that will be my focus going forward, broadening the whole scope of the Ministry of Labor as I see it.
The GTUC today said it stands ready and prepared to continue its representation of workers' rights and all issues affecting the working class of Guyana, and it sees the establishment of an independent Ministry of Labor as a step in the right direction, and one that will guarantee workers' interests are better served and protected. One day after their appointment as part of a government special team to conduct a rapid assessment of a number of state companies and agencies, two members of the team met and held discussions with management at a state-owned national communications network this morning. Veteran communications specialist Kit Nascimento and newspaper financial analyst Saisnarayan Singh met with the management at NCN for close to 2 hours, inquiring about the financial state and daily operations of the company. News source understands that during the meeting, the two raised questions about NCN's political coverage and whether there were political directives issued to the newsroom under the last government. they were told that the only directives came from management, and that was for the news team to be fair and balanced in its reporting of the news and current affairs. Nascimento raised questions about the Context talk show, which was aired on NCN and hosted by veteran broadcaster and acting NCN Chief Executive Enrico Wolford. A source that was inside the meeting said Nascimento appeared obsessed about the content of the program and the guests who appeared on it. He was told that not just political guests appeared on the program, and that whenever members of the PPP were invited, they turned down the invitations. On the financial state of the company, the fact-finding team learned that although the state-owned company was not operating at its financial best, it was in a better position than it was 4 years ago. They were also told that both the APNU-AFC and the PPP have outstanding bills to settle with the company that run into millions. Questions were also raised about the termination of the NCN Editor-in-Chief Leron Bromell and the reassignment of new duties to Program Manager Wendy Hermanstein. The team was told that the NCN management and board always sought and got advice from its legal team before such action was taken. The team also learned of the termination of a contract with a satellite company for broadcasting material and the replacement by another company. The company that has been replaced has threatened legal action. Executive Director Michael Leonard told the team that his contract has expired and he has no interest in seeking a renewal. The team also learned that the contract for the acting CEO, Enrico Wolford, has also expired. Both had been placed on month-to-month contracts since earlier this year. Both Nascimento and Singh indicated that they will seek further meetings with the company, and they have told staff members that they have nothing to fear. More than 90% of NCN's current staff, including managers, are the same staffers that were employed with the company when the last government changed in 2015. Senior Superintendent of Police Wendell Blanham has been reappointed as the crime chief of the Guyana Police Force. Blanham previously served in the position between 2015 and 2017, but was moved to Deputy Commander for A Division and then later Commander for Region 1. In his previous stint as crime chief, Blanham was credited with solving a number of high-profile crimes and cold cases. However, a commission of inquiry conducted after an assassination plot against the then President David Granger recommended that Blanham be placed in commanding positions to gather more experience. It was felt by many that the investigators under his watch did not take the assassination threats against the then head of state seriously. The Guyana Police Force is expected to see a number of other changes as the new administration settles in. Just last week, the police commissioner and one of his deputies both proceeded on pre-retirement leave. As the APNU-AFC coalition prepares to take up 31 seats on the opposition side of the National Assembly, the parties in the coalition have started the process of identifying nominees for the Member of Parliament positions. APNU and PNC leader, former President David Granger, is the head of the coalition's list, and this morning he indicated to news source that the issue of citizenship tops the coalition's list of criteria for the new members of parliament.
We have proposed a list of criteria. At the top of the list, of course, is to verify the citizenship of the nominees.
While in government, the APNU-AFC was forced to have 4 of its members of parliament, who were also senior ministers, relinquish their seats in the parliament because of dual citizenship. Under the Constitution of Guyana, it is clearly stated that no person shall be qualified for election as a member of the National Assembly who is by virtue of his own act under any acknowledgement of allegiance or obedience or adherence to a foreign power or state. During one of the court cases after the no-confidence motion, the Chief Justice also ruled that a holder of dual citizenship is prohibited from sitting as a member of the National Assembly. Of the 4 coalition members who were forced to resign from Parliament, 2 of them, Joe Harmon and Carl Greenwich, re-emerged as candidates in the last elections, stating that they have renounced their citizenship. Neither of the 2 men has ever publicly displayed any certificate of renunciation, while stating that their renunciation of their foreign citizenship had been granted. Mr. Granger also said the APNU-AFC will be taking a more diverse group of members of Parliament, with more representation for women and youth.
But we're also looking for youth, we're looking for women, we're looking for geographical spread, we're looking for gender balance, and naturally we're looking for people who are committed to pursuing and achieving our objectives in our manifesto.
The APNU chairman noted that there will be changes to the coalition's representative list for Parliament, and already the 6 coalition partners have been asked to examine the criteria that has been set out for the return to Parliament. The Chief Election Officer has already written to the political parties that have won seats in the National Assembly for them to submit their list of members to serve in the House. Guyana has recorded 29 new cases of coronavirus in the past 24 hours. The Ministry of Health has not indicated the location of the new cases. Over the past week, the new cases have been coming from hinterland areas in regions 7, 8, and 9. More than 200 cases have been recorded in regions 7 and 9 alone. The total number of active cases now stands at 327, with the recoveries remaining at 189. The new Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, has indicated that there will be a complete overhaul of the coronavirus response in Guyana. He has described the current response plan as a disaster. Just last evening, Guyana received a large shipment of medical supplies to aid in the fight against COVID-19. The shipment came through the Caribbean Public Health Agency as part of a regional program funded by the IDB. Across the Region is coming up next.
We give thanks for real. You spend all that money on your watch. How much time you spend with your son? So much money in the club. How much you spend with the ones you love? The simple things are your blessings.
Cheese, please. Remember Tyrus Riley, this one we aim to please. The music will never ease. Cheese, please.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
The following is an important message from the Ministry of Public Health. Getting your workplace ready for COVID-19. Surfaces such as desks, tables, and telephones with keyboards must be wiped with disinfectant regularly, or at least every few hours. Use containers of hand sanitizers and place them in prominent places around the workplace. Provide access to places where staff can wash their hands with soap and water, and promote regular hand washing at the workplace. The Ministry of Public Health has a hotline to provide information on the coronavirus. Members of the public can call 227-4986 or 624-3067.
Across the region right now, the number of Caribbean countries in Barbados' regional travel bubble has been reduced. Barbados' updated travel protocols show that the bubble has been limited to 5 countries: Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Dominica. The bubble formerly included Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda, Curacao, Aruba, Anguilla, Bahamas, Guyana, Belize, Turks and Caicos, Bermuda, Bonaire, British Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Saint Barthélemy, St. Martin and Montserrat. The update comes on the heels of the announcement by the Ministry of Health in Barbados that the island had recorded 24 cases of COVID-19 over the past weekend. The updated protocols identify risk categories for selected countries, updated requirements for entry, protocols for arrival for all risk levels, available testing options, and procedures for visitors upon arrival. The updated protocols came into effect yesterday. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Trinidad and Tobago has crossed the 200 mark. 8 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19, bringing the number of positive cases to 207. The Ministry of Health in Trinidad and Tobago said there are contacts of recently positive COVID-19 patients, while 5 cases are pending investigation. The ministry also said all established protocols have been implemented. There are now 59 positive patients in hospital, with 5 more to be added soon. A total of 7,864 tests were completed, while 1,586 of those tests have been repeated. And finally tonight, international news. People in Beirut, Lebanon have expressed anger at the government over what they say was negligence that led to Tuesday's huge explosion. The president said the blast was caused by 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored unsafely in a warehouse. Many have accused the authorities of corruption, neglect, and mismanagement. The blast killed at least 137 people and injured about 5,000 others, while dozens are still missing. A 2-week state of emergency has begun in Beirut. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.